Yeah, hi, I'm Craig. I'm part of the Jamaica Inn resident paranormal team. I'm a relatively new addition to the team, although I've been a paranormal investigator for quite a few years now. So what makes the Jamaica Inn interesting for me? I'm a relatively newcomer to Cornwall. I've been there 3 years now, and what I like about the Jamaica Inn, I've passed there many times on the way to the north coast of Cornwall for surf trips and things like that, and spent many a good time in there. And it's just the heritage, the history of the place, and obviously the Daffy du Maurier book and film and things, so it's got an appeal to me. I'm what's classed, you get mediums and sensitives in the paranormal. I'm the opposite end of the scale. I'd call myself an insensitive. So usually for me, I'm not a kind of, sensation feely kind of person. So unless something's, pushing me down the stairs or chucking objects at me, I normally don't notice that anything's going on. At Jamaica Inn, I've had a few experiences in there. One of my colleagues, Karina, and I walking down the corridor after packing up some of the setup in the rooms, and we heard a voice say "Oi" right next to us. We looked around, nobody's there, we're in a corridor, there were no doors there, so that was quite odd, and we looked at each other and said, "Did you hear that?" Yeah, that was quite strange. On another occasion, we'd been setting up the rooms for the guests, and me and another colleague were in a room with Karine. She said, "Oh, I'm just heading out for a bit." We swapped rooms. She went out, she knocked on the door, we opened it up, she came back in the room because the rooms were locked from the inside. And when we switched rooms to do the setup, we were setting up the kit, and then we heard another knock on the door, so I thought, oh, it's Karine. When I opened the door, there's nobody there, but not only that, the security light on the corridor came on, so there obviously wasn't anyone within any proximity of the room. So that was quite interesting. We both said, confirmed we'd heard that, and it was a knock exactly like Karina had done when she tried to come into the other room. So that was quite interesting. So what does the Jamaica Inn smuggler board mean to me? It's really important for us. So obviously there's a couple of aspects to what we do. So we're hosting events at Jamaica Inn and making our guests have a good evening, learn about paranormal investigation techniques. So for me, the Smuggler's Board's quite a selfish thing in a way, really, because it gives us the opportunity, with so many guests coming through the doors of Jamaica Inn, for us to record their experiences and the location of the experiences. So we're looking at patterns emerging. There's the chairman of the Ghost Club, Alan Murdy. He's a trained barrister. I remember going to a seminar once, and he said that in a court of law, evidence is admissible if you have unrelated witnesses experiencing the same thing in the same location. So that for us is quite interesting, and sometimes it's a case of looking at not just things happening, but more personal experiences, feelings, things like that. So that when you get consistency of that in certain locations, that's kind of evidence for us. So it's an opportunity for us to gather data and look over a period of time what's going on in a location, really. Who do I think of the resident spirits at the inn? Not really sure. We have a lot of guests reporting things. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about Jack at the inn, and we just again get consistent experiences of people being touched and various things, and things on demand as well, asking a spirit. There's also, where the inn is, it's on the pilgrim's route. So visitors, again, in paranormal, you kind of have sort of several definitions of ghosts, whatever they may be. And one is stone tape theory, where maybe the building is just playing back a video or something that's happened in the rooms. And the other thing is ghosts, as in sentient beings that are interacting with people. So I don't know, maybe a combination of both. You know, there's no conclusive proof for either, but we're just gathering as much evidence as we can for both, really. Why do I think experiments on public nights are important for what we do at the inn? I've gone on a few paranormal events and I've hosted other paranormal events, and there's commercial companies out there doing it. The way the Jamaica Inn team works, we're all paranormal investigators in our own right. When guests come to the inn, a lot of people are undertaking a paranormal investigation for entertainment. And we don't give them anything, we don't set up anything, there's no jump scares, there's nothing set up. It is a genuine investigation that we do, but the danger with that is, as a paranormal investigator, 99% of the time you go to a haunted location and you just sat there all night and absolutely nothing happens at all, and that's the fact of, you know, paranormal investigating. It's a needle in a haystack. So for guests to come night on night and nothing to happen, because it won't happen on demand, it's one of those things, you're lucky or you're not. So we want guests to have experiences and we want them to have fun. So we set up experiments that often are non-paranormal based, but they will give people experiences. And the importance with us giving those experiences is for guests to understand the nature between what the mind does that isn't necessarily paranormal and what is paranormal. So it's an education process, but it still means guests have fun and go away from the night having had their own experience, really.